As some of you probably noticed, I did get a haircut, quite a bit more than I was intending to. I told her to take off half an inch on top, and she ended up taking it off about 4 inches. So, you know, whatever. Obviously not 4 inches. You get my point. Hyperboles beyond. Hey, how's it going? It is really hot outside. Last week I bought an evaporative cooler fan, which basically just runs, you put a tank of water in it, and it runs water over these like fins, and water or air comes through these fins, evaporating the water, and that evaporation cools off the air, and then that cooled off air goes through the fan, and it cools you off. It's not very effective in really humid climates. LA is on like the verge. It's right on the edge of being slightly too humid, but it's still not humid enough that you could still use it. So like if you're trying to cool down a room in, say, Las Vegas, where there's like no humidity, just a small 200 square foot room, it'll cool the room off by like 20 degrees. Whereas if it's too humid, if you have like humidity beyond like say 60, 70%, it gets to a point where it actually starts warming up the room, because then it's really just increasing the humidity in your room, and that can actually carry over some heat. But it's 90 some degrees outside today, and so I thought I'd bring in the cooler to the office here, and it's been actually working great because we got some fans on the windowsill pulling in air from outside, and that's like really hot air because outside it's really hot. So I have the fan like sitting next to me blowing cool air on me, and it's nice. It's like, oh, this feels great. I could actually work and not be like, I want to leave, I want to do anything but work right now. So it's actually kind of nice for that. Yes, okay, so that was just a 2-minute preamble to what I was gonna talk about today. So apologies for that. As you can see, I'm in this room again because it is cooler in here than it is outside. I was gonna stand outside, and I was like, screw that. I want to talk about film school. Now, one of you guys watching my videos recently went to a film school camp, I guess. Luke, this was from your comments, and I feel bad. I honestly feel sorry because you said it was a not good experience, and that's unfortunate because camps are supposed to be amazing experiences. And that's not to say that all film school camps are not good experiences, or that you shouldn't do film school at all. But what I took away from what you're saying was that you just didn't get a good feel from what you're doing, and now you're questioning whether you even want to do film. And all you guys know where I'm coming from. I didn't do film school at all. I literally, everything I know about film, I learned by reading articles. I learned by doing, and I learned by experimenting. Tutorials and effects is only just one aspect of filmmaking, and that's only just one aspect that I've really pushed on my own, mainly because it's something that not many people do, and it's a way to set myself apart from other people, on top of, you know, me just finding it super, super interesting. Right, so, but that's not what I want to do. I don't want to be a visual effects artist. I mean, hello. But what was I saying? I totally got distracted there. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna pause. Wow. So I thought I'd try to come outside and try this out, but it's super bright and it's a lot hotter. But okay, so what was I talking about? So I don't necessarily want to be an effects artist. Like, people are like, oh, you got so much talent. I can easily see you working at like ILM one day. And I'm like, well, I don't know if that's what I want, because the thing about doing visual effects is that it's super monotonous, and working on other people's effects is not particularly rewarding. Thought that guy was gonna park where I was standing. I guess I'll just park here. There's an address if you want it. Or like, I guess, half an address. So I wanted to be a director. That's why I went this route, is so I can actually see, or I have these ideas, or I see ideas that I want to bring to life, and I want to have my input on all sorts of aspects of it. With visual effects, you're very limited in that you only can do the visual thing. You have to work with other people's shots first, and then you have to work with their input and their ideas. And you're just like, well, I can bring that to life, which is cool and all until you start working with people that have bad ideas, and you're in it for the money, because it does pay well. I recently just finished working on a George Watsky music video shoot, and overall, in the end, it wasn't a particularly positive experience. Like, I love George. He's a cool guy, absolutely. I love the song. I think the video is going to be great, but working on these effects, they're not my best work. When the video comes out, I think at the end of this week, you'll see that it's like, they're kind of meh effects. They're nothing challenging, but they're still difficult enough that they're not easy to make look good. Does this make sense? It's like, you look at it and it's obviously an effect. You're like, oh yeah, that was an effect, cool. Whereas I like to specialize in making effects that look real and blow you away. That's what I strive to do. I try to hold myself to a really high level of quality that I can't always achieve, this being one of those times. And plus it took about 4 times longer to work on than was originally agreed to. But again, it pays well, so that's cool. Yeah, and so that's why I've been working on this video, just because it's like, everything to do about it is 100% me. I mean, the story isn't 100% me. That was actually a huge collaboration between several people who, without their input, this video would never have taken off the ground. That's not my point. The execution of it, from the producing to the directing to the obviously the editing and the post, all that has been 100% my input, which has its drawbacks, such as being super overwhelming. It's incredibly overwhelming just because of how much work there is to do, but it's also very rewarding in that at the end of the day, when it's done, I'm looking at something that I think is incredible, hopefully, and will be like, that was all me. I mean, obviously the music and the sound effects aren't going to be me, because much more talented people are going to be taking care of that, but still. So to bring it full circle, back to film school. If this does well and this launches me into doing bigger and better things, I will be a classic example of why you don't need film school. However, what film school is really good at, okay, anything technical, any sort of editing, you need to learn how to edit, tutorials online. You need to learn how to do some effects, tutorials online. You need to know how to shoot a camera, tutorials online. Even know how to like Filmright, for instance, is really good at like all different types of production help. I've learned a lot just from on the production side of things, like how to wrangle people, how to shoot a movie, how to shoot all these things. And they just started shooting, they just started pre-production on their new short film, which is, they're gonna chronicle that, so I'm sure that'll be pretty interesting. When it comes to their technical stuff, I don't really follow it because they're not the most technical savvy YouTubers out there, but that's not a detraction in any form. My point is that there are resources online that you can learn from on pretty much anything out there. If you want to become, even if you want to like learn physics, something like, literally, if you want to learn physics, there are resources online. Khan Academy, for instance, is an incredible resource. I wish I had that when I was in high school, or college for that matter, to be able to learn how to do physics. It would have been much easier and quicker. But what film school is good at is bringing people to you, bringing firsthand experience to you on like a silver platter that you paid a massive amount of money for. That's what film school does. It gives you connections. But if you're savvy enough to make good stuff on your own and then display it, that could get its attention. And then if you try hard to get those people's attention, eventually you may end up working for them. That's exactly what I did. Like, I have learned more in the last year about filmmaking simply from working with Sam and Nico and being on every single one of their corridor digital shoots for over a year now. Way over a year if you include sync. But I feel like that was more valuable to me than film school. Here, because especially with Sam and Nico, because they argue all the time, you get to actually hear firsthand their reasoning and their points, because they have to convince the other person why they're making a decision. Whereas if it's just one person, they're like, excuse me, they make a decision, for instance I would, and then not really explain it. You're like, nope, this is what we're gonna do, and we're doing it. So there's that. I will never stop feeling weird vlogging when other people are around me. I'm hoping the guy who just passed me, thinks I'm talking to someone on Skype or something. Anyway, I can go on and on about this. This is already a 12-minute vlog, so apologies for that again. Let me know if there's anything else you want to hear about. I've been better lately about responding to comments. I read all the comments regardless whether I respond or not. And also, if you actually send me a message, I will probably take the time to respond to that because it gives me more space to respond. Most people, YouTube's not the best place to respond to messages on, but I don't get enough messages that I don't have any to... I don't miss any. If that makes sense. I tend to miss messages on Facebook. I see everything on Twitter. If you have any more questions, if you need help figuring things out, I'll try to be there for you. So I'm gonna get back to work, working on Omen. I did some sweet eye effects yesterday. Oh, that was another thing. I got a really bad migraine last night. Yeah. I drank a lot of water too, so it wasn't like a normal headache. I literally just had to go home. They started recording a LAN party, and I think that was really what really started pushing it over the edge. I was just like, I gotta get out of here. I barely made it home. I almost threw up in my car on my way home from a migraine. It's the second migraine I've had in a month. The last time I had a migraine before that was in 2008. I used to think I never get them. And all of a sudden, 2 in 1 month, so go figure. Maybe it's stress, I don't know, I'm trying to finish this video. I guess that's all for now. I'll talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow. I don't think I posted a vlog yesterday, but that was because the day before that I posted a vlog at like 9 p.m. And that was on accident because I recorded it early and uploaded it and had it set on private for like 3 hours. I was like, oh, I forgot to make this public. Whoops. Anyway, gonna try to upload this now and see you tomorrow. Bye.